Norman Woodstock Spaulding, bare bones radio broadcaster. Good morning. This is Sunday, the first day of the week, according to some. Is there such a week? Is there such a thing as a week? What a dumb idea, a week. Well, the method of measuring everything here is archaic and asinine, especially the frequency around a star is a dumb way to keep track of anything, isn't it? Oh, that's a constant. There's nothing consistent about it. The frequency around the star is not consistent enough to use it as a measuring system. Oh, touch, say that. Well, it's a fact. That is not a measuring system. No, it's not a monitoring system. It hasn't worked, and it's a dumb idea, and the minds predict that you have the brains to forget it. You think you will? Can you come up with a language that's authentic to Europe for the whole continent? Maybe then you can balance your budget. What do you think? Is Europe smart enough to come up with a language authentic to the whole continent and learn it and speak it everywhere instead of your idiotic languages you speak in Europe? How about the United States? Can the United States as a continent, as a nation, as a continent, as a nation lord, as a continent, as a nation lord, quit it! My puka likes these terms. Sometimes it will have me repeat it like a broken record. Thinks it's cute. Puka thinks a lot of things are cute, don't puka? Appearing, though, isn't cute. Will puka appear? Does your puka appear? Will the creator of this planet appear? Well, then, how about that ain't very... To not appear is not very cute. Lord, appear. Issue solved. But that solved the issue. If the Lord appeared, would everything get better here? Huh? Just appear. We saw the creator of the globe. Now what? What difference does that make? Wouldn't everybody say, see, I told you, I'm right. And the other one would say, I told you, I'm right. It wouldn't make any difference. The Lord's so disgusted with your stupid ideas, the Lord don't know what to say. And it says nothing because of it. How could anything get that dumb? Well, you built them that long. They'll buff away. I didn't come to talk about these things, and they just burst out. Norman, go sit down. I miss the lady that she managed the restaurant. I miss her. Laura, I miss you. Remember what Laura used to tell me in the middle of one of these? Norman, go sit down. I would burst into it. I tell you, Laura was probably the most beautiful human I've ever met in my life. I'll never meet another Laura like that, ever. And I've met some lovely Lauras in my life, met some lovely humans. Laura is probably the most, there's no term to describe the essence of Laura. And I mean that. You know, Gracie Allen, Laura made Gracie Allen look like a powder. Laura made Gracie Allen look like somebody couldn't remark at all. Laura always had a remark, and it always left you in stitches. She was probably one of the most pleasant people I've ever met in my life, ever. And even when I wasn't pleasant, Laura could remind me the necessity of pleasant. My mother did that probably more most of the time. I think what you're getting right now, and all the totalness of Norman Woodstock Spaulding, is his mother's reaming for beating up my brother, or trying to. I wasn't allowed to, and somehow the friction between us was consistent. And I was into it with my little brother and getting my rear end reamed continually for it. Now, I remember those lectures on passive and how important passive is, and that's all I remember in life, in living. All I remember how important passive is. That's all I am. Passive, passive, passive. You see me like a neon light somewhere. That's all I yell. Passive, passive, passive. And I have to scold myself with it because I have the tolerance to snap that punch. I can do it, boy. Wow, wow. What. Even in my mind, before I know it, I'm snapping the punch. Ah. Somehow in my past, I know I was huge. In my past genetics, a very large man that could reach in and grab a man's liver and eat it like an apple. in front of him before he passed away. You think that's possible? You could snap the man's liver out, shove it in your mouth, and eat it quicker than the man dies, so he sees you doing it as he's going to his grave very quickly. You think that's possible? Well, I flash on doing it. There's something wrong with that, man. I flash on doing lovely things. I flash on doing lovelier things than that. Oh, I flash on causing all kinds of humans conversing among themselves and finding themselves lovely and doing that. That's my job, is to get humans discussing things among themselves. When they do and get honest with themselves, they'll see themselves lovely. They are. And then they'll do that. And once humans see themselves lovely, that's what they do. That's all they do, and that's all they understand is mutual and kindness and support, especially their offspring. Right now they are just plain mangling their offspring, humans are. And as a result, it just keeps, you keep pushing the kids here now, you're not going to want to be here 3 generations the way you're treating your offspring on this globe everywhere. I heard in Russia that the suicide rate is so high they don't want anybody to know about it because they're afraid the kids will kick on. The teenagers are killing themselves like flies in Russia. What's that mean? Is the rest of the planet's fault? Oh, it's their fault, and it's their fault, and it's their fault, and it's their fault. Is it? Or your society is going to hell in a handbasket. Is the rest of the planet's fault? Is it? What if you're all eaten by something simultaneously? What are you going to blame then when you won't pull together? What? I'll show you there's so many things eating you simultaneously right now. For you and I, when you won't pull together, you are blind as bats. Period. Right now. Do you want to bet? And to take it out on each other right now, the way something is mutually eating all of you at the same time everywhere, is the most asinine thing I've ever witnessed in my life. For any creature, nothing is that dumb. So something else is getting the best of you, humanity. Because nothing is as dumb. You're playing dumb to something, and while you're playing dumb, you're mutually all getting it at the same time. Yes, you are. And I watch it happen, and I think, nothing is that dumb. Nothing here. Dirt isn't that dumb. Air isn't. No creature, no logic. You're absolutely mocking the ability of logic. And you have the greatest ability of it than anything. This would be too long to upload.